All right, Mo, I picked the topic Tuesday.
All right.
First, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why are we in your car?
This is where I live.
Okay, we'll talk sports now.
Okay.
Jerome Simpson was suspended 3 games, says Adam Schefter. Your thoughts?
Yeah, sounds fair. I guess if you test positive for weed, you get 4 games automatically, and Jerome didn't do that, and so I guess Roger Goodell had to give him a somewhat lighter sentence, but he still had the weed, claimed it was for personal use, went to jail. Sorry, don't want to get suspended. Don't get weed delivered to your house. Pretty simple. Roger Goodell's been pretty heavy-handed before. It stood to reason he was going to be somewhat heavy-handed with Jerome.
Okay, one of the 2012 top corners recently tweeted that he's a great father, and he's not the only one that smokes pot. Your thoughts on players smoking pot?
My thoughts on human beings smoking pot is, that's cool. It doesn't bother me. From an ideological standpoint, fine, you want to smoke weed. I think it's relatively harmless. I'm cool with it. Know people who smoke it. I'll be honest with you, I've smoked it before, don't now. But be prepared to face the repercussions, and those can include job loss, those can include legal ramifications, and if you're an NFL player, it could include your availability to your team being compromised, like we talked about with Jerome Simpson. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with driving 85 miles an hour on the highway either, but you're not allowed to do that, and if you get caught, be prepared to face the consequences. And same thing if you're an NFL player. I don't really think that, your ability to be a father is, compromised by smoking pot. I guess some would claim it is. I don't know. Again, I haven't smoked it since I was 19 at the University of Dayton. But that said, I don't have a major problem with it. But look, there are ramifications, and just be prepared to face them if you're Janoris Jenkins.
All right, perfect destination for Mark Lyons.
That's a really good question. Here's where I'd like to see him go. The University of Cincinnati. Can you imagine anything adding to the rivalry more? Doesn't have to sit out. Gets a chance to play in the crosstown shootout. Seriously, what could be better? They need kind of a combo guard. Mark can fill that hole. Look, the guy's a good college basketball player. You might not like him. Maybe he has a little bit of an attitude problem. Perhaps he didn't get along with Chris Mack. But dude can play. So you know what? Just for the sake of it, I want to see the UC Bearcats reach out to Mark Lyons and offer him a chance to stay in Cincinnati, and just imagine the dynamic of the crosstown shootout rivalry then.
All right, last question.
Sure.
Is it time for Scott Rowland just to hang it up?
I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but we're getting to the point with Scott Rowland where I think you have to question the sanity of playing him as often as the Reds are. This is not a young guy, and it's not a guy who's clueless at the plate either. Scott Rowland goes up to the plate knowing what he's trying to do. He just simply doesn't have it physically anymore. He's 37 years old. He's had back issues. He's had shoulder issues. His bat speed is really slow. He can't get around on 85-mile-an-hour fastballs. And if you have him 2 strikes, he's totally lost. I don't know if you can't make him retire. I wonder if Scott's a prideful enough guy to get to a point where he goes, screw this. And I don't think that point is in April or in May. But I think if you're Dusty Baker and you're Walt Jocketty, I know that the options are limited, but Todd Frazier is one of them. And you can't tell me that Todd Frazier can't do any worse than Scott Rowland, so I would give him a chance. But I do think the more he plays and the more he looks the way he does, talking about Scott Rowland, the closer we get to that point where we really have to sit down and wonder what we're benefiting if we're the Reds, what we're benefiting from having Scott Rowland play as often as he has been.
All right, that's it. It's really hot in here.
It's really hot in here, so send me a tweet. It's Positive Tweet Tuesday at MoEgger1530. You could also send me an email, mo@espn1530.com, and we'll talk to you on Thursday on ESPN 1530. And thanks for visiting my car.